name is Alessia Munari. I am a driving instructor and teacher, and I'm based in the north of Italy. And my work is working in a driving school, but beside my work, I founded and ran a project a comprehensive driving license project addresses at all aspects of obtaining and maintaining a driving license, including the psychological dimension of driving. So, for instance, I work with a traffic psychologist. Which is a new figure of psychologists, and together we try to help and support people, mostly women, 90% women, I think, dealing with anxiety and fears while they're driving. I think that sexism against women drivers is deeply rooted in stereotypes that portrays women as less competent behind the wheels. So we constantly hear jokes about women driving, and these jokes, first of all, are not funny, and they can create problems in driving, fear in driving, and they can undermine confidence, women confidence while they're driving. In my work, I see how these stereotypes affect women in their practical driving. So, for instance, I see younger women that have the belief that they are worse drivers because they're women, or I see middle-aged women that were mocked for years, and so they develop genuine fear and anxiety while driving. And I see also older women that never learned to drive because age ago it was considered a male thing, just a man thing. In Italy, we know that for young people, men and women at the age of 18, when you can take your driving license, men are the most and women are less. There are some regions of Italy, some places in Italy, in which we are more or less equal, but it's not the same in all the country. If we look at older people, so maybe at the age of from 25 to 35, more or less, we see that this gap is bigger. So we have a lot of men that have the driving license and less women that have taken the driving license. I created this project because I think that traditional driving instruction often ignores these gender-specific barriers. So we try to give women a space in which their problems and their fears are taken seriously. And by integrating the psychological support, we address not just the technical skills, but also this emotional baggage that sexism has created. We try to. I'm passionate about it because I think that driving license, it's not just learning a technical skill, learning to drive a car or something like that, but it's a little bit of independence for women and its autonomy, things that I think should be accessible to everyone, regardless of gender. And for me, it's important also because when I took my driving license at the age of 18, I lived in a small country on the mountains with 300 people. So I was alone, and my driving license give me the possibility to go to university, for instance, or the possibility to have new friends, or the possibility to have work. So for me, it represented really freedom and independence. So when I help a woman take her driving license, I think that this can literally change her life. So for the job, for because she feels empowered. So I think that's it's like feminism in action, like a feminism that we can see in everyday life. So for me, it's a small thing, but it's very important. I think that one of the biggest challenges is the backlash against feminist progress, especially online and among younger generations, younger people who are exposed to anti-feminist content. And another challenge is the one of intersectionality. So we need to recognize that discrimination intersects with sex, with age, race, class, disability, and other factors. So for me, my work, for instance, an older woman, immigrant woman faces very different barriers than a young middle class woman. I think that the most important challenge in next years will be adapting feminism to changes and technological changes and society changes. I think about, for example, the AI or changes in work structures or maybe climate challenges. So we need to um, not to leave behind women in all of this process. And we need also to, I think, bridge the generational divide within feminism. So I think that it's useful and it's important that younger feminists, younger women talk to older women, and they need to talk to each other and work together instead of work against each other. It's important that they talk. The first women I choose is Simone de Beauvoir, because in her writings, she, maybe for the first time, I don't know, but she talked about how women are socially constructed rather than biologically determined. So it's also a connection with the driving license, because women, as we said before, women think that they are worse in driving because they are women, but obviously it's not true. So I think Simone de Beauvoir is the philosophical foundation of feminism, the modern feminism. Then the second woman I choose is Manal al-Sharif. I hope the pronunciation is correct, which is a Saudi activist. She dared to drive in 2011 in Saudi Arabia. In this year, it was forbidden to women to, they don't have the right to have the driving license. And she dared to drive and film herself, and she was arrested for this. But her courage inspired a lot of women, and they tried to defy this ban. And from 218, they, for the first time in the history of Saudi Arabia, they can drive. So a few years ago. And this is, I think that it's a symbol of driving and freedom, especially when driving is forbidden, like in this case. Then the third woman I choose is Annie Ernaux, Because in all her writings, but especially in the book A Girl Story, she wrote about, there's a little chapter speaking about the driving license. So she spoke about herself when she was 18 in 1958, and she saw herself with the driving license as a free woman. So she saw for the first time the driving license as a freedom. Through little acts, something small, but freedom in everyday life and independence in everyday life. Now, I just want to emphasize that feminist work doesn't always look radical or political on the surface, but for me, for example, feminism is saying to a young lady that her fear to drive is not because she's a woman, but it's the proof that sexism and stereotypes affected her life. Or maybe feminism could be helping a grandmother take her driving license, maybe in her 50s or in her 60s or in her 70s, why not, in order to visit her grandchildren with independence, no? Without having anyone with her. So I see these little changes in everyday moments very important. So we need for sure big politic movements. But together with these political movements, we need also small projects or small changes working together across all generations.